If you're on a 9-life path, you're what I'd call the humanitarian. Your primary purpose is to develop and act upon your sense of integrity and cultivate deep wisdom in everything you do. Because what we're here to do is never the easiest thing for us to do, you'll experience consistent challenges in these areas of your life. The 9 is the number of completion in numerology. In many ways, you have that I'm an old soul sense about you. It's almost as if you're here to finish your senior project. So your life is built around a lot of research, experimentation, pondering, rough drafts, and rethinking your research question. I feel that the 9-life path encourages or even requires that you work on mastering the constructive elements of all the numbers. So in that regard, the 9-life path is quite demanding. The number 9 is all about completion and letting go. It can feel as though you have more than your share of loss in your life. As a 9-life path, you'll be met with many opportunities to master the art of letting go with grace and wisdom and without resistance. This is a lifelong endeavor, isn't it? When you're a child, you're often the champion of the underdog. You might find yourself defending the kid who always gets bullied, or you might be that kid who gets bullied. You often make friends with folks who might be considered misfits and can often feel that way yourself. At your core, you are a heart-centered humanitarian. You feel best and most purposeful when you're serving the greater good, whatever that might mean to you. You have an amazing amount of charisma. Sometimes it's quiet charisma, and sometimes it's off-the-charts Energizer Bunny charisma. And even if you have no idea what you're really doing, you are a champion at fake it till you make it. Everyone always thinks you're in charge and that you know exactly what you're doing, even when you don't. You're a natural leader, teacher, and healer. You can be a successful entrepreneur or business person. Really, the sky is the limit for you, just as long as ultimately what you're doing involves a larger cause and helps people in a humanitarian way. Creativity is at the core of who you are. You are a creative thinker. You can be a great artist. You're a fountain of creative energy. You're also a hopeless romantic and can idealize romance. And family dynamics are often at the center of your life, and we'll do a little more about that in a minute. At the end of the day, the true spirit of the 9-life path is to develop your relationship with issues surrounding integrity on all levels and with gaining and cultivating wisdom throughout your lifetime. The thing about the life path is this: many people are pulled into the entirely opposite direction than what their life's purpose indicates for them. I call it the flip side of your life path, and we can begin to cue the Darth Vader heavy breathing here, because it's really like selling your soul to the dark side. It may seem like the easiest route at the time, and yet it really never is, because your results will always be unhappiness, ill health, and feelings of despair that you're just not doing what you were meant to be doing, whatever the heck that might actually be. So some of the key concepts for the 9-life path are, and are not limited to these: old soul, giver; big heart, service to the underdog; dynamic, charismatic; idealistic, romantic; letting go, completion, loss. Now for the issues and stumbling blocks along the way, and I know you've been dying to hear this part. Since you're developing integrity and wisdom, you'll be met with challenges in these particular areas in your life. Sometimes a 9-life path can become what I might call a rebel without a cause. You can always be pushing against someone or something without any real reason. Part of this tendency comes from the way in which you are being repeatedly tested with needing to let go of things and allow for change and transformation that is not within your immediate control, whether this has to do with objects, relationships, expectations, money, health, you name it. The biggest stumbling block for you is to move forward with an open heart and open arms rather than to hang on to the old and then look back with bitterness and resentment. Or even to replay the good stuff and those magic moments in your mind as if these thoughts are like an old family video on long play. This just doesn't serve you to live in the past. The 9-life path is being asked to be in the present moment and then move forward. Many who are on the Nine Life Path find themselves in families that have a lot of enmeshment. And this is often something that takes many years, if ever, for the Nine Life Path to really understand and then to extricate from. And here's just one example. So let's say that you're born into a wealthy family where your grandfather is the family patriarch and your father works for the family business and you're expected to do the same. So you really don't have the slightest clue how life might be or feel if your entire existence, and I mean your family, your kids, your livelihood, your identity, everything, weren't intimately linked to the extended family business. Sometimes this can work for you, and yet most of the time it's part of your life's purpose to pull yourself away from the family dealings, strike out on your own, and explore the real you without all the family history, expectations, and other issues that are inherent in this kind of setup. And to strike out on your own under these circumstances can be extremely hard because you can't even envision, first of all, what that might be like and why you should even do it. And second of all, this sort of decision can have profound consequences in your life. So truth be told, it ain't easy. Oftentimes, the Nine Life Path feels either totally responsible for certain members of their family or they feel resentment toward them. The bottom line is that it won't feel natural or easy for you as a Nine Life Path to spread your own wings and fly away from the nest. If this doesn't describe you, that is great. I've known some Nine Life Paths who don't have a heavy dose of family enmeshment in this particular way, and yet they will usually have other family issues, family-related issues, such as a messy divorce or a requirement to spend every summer at the family hideaway, or potentially they could be adopted and experience issues related to this circumstance, some kind of family enmeshment issues that offer you the opportunity to let go and reinvent, to redefine yourself and move forward. The other thing you need to know is that everyone thinks you have got it all under control. You are the person who you seriously can be sinking in quicksand, and yet you'll wave at everyone passing by that, yeah, I'm just fine. So it's not true. You need to learn to ask for help and support when you need it. And that means that you have to learn to recognize when you need it. And that can be very challenging for you. Some of the key concepts for your flip side list might include can't let go, despair, bitterness, enmeshed family dynamics, needs to learn to ask for help and support, little white lies, manipulation. Ultimately, you struggle with acting with a consistent sense of integrity and with letting go of the past. Know that you're here to work with developing your sense of integrity and wisdom. You're a person who thrives when you're contributing to a higher cause and using your gifts and talents to help humanity. You may feel that you receive limited, overt rewards for your efforts, and yet you know at your core that you're here to serve humanity in whatever way you possibly can. Your true gift to yourself and to the world lies in your ability to ebb and flow with events in your life in such a way that you live in the present, appreciate every moment for what it has to give and teach you, and move forward using the wisdom you've gleaned to help others do the same.